New studio, some new equipment. There's been a request to see how I put together my video podcasts. Tonight, we're going to take a look at that and maybe some of yours right after this. Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to the Video Call-In Show, that show that invites you to be a live video guest on this show at any time. Talk about anything you want to. Could be topic of the day, could be current events, could be your self-promotion or personal pet peeves, or you can just sit back and talk weather with good old Jim. That is me. I am your host of the Video Call-In Show. It's real easy to join. All you've got to do is use that link right there, the Zoom link right there, or the one in the description. That'll get you hooked up with Zoom. I'll see you come up on my screen, and we'll bring you on. Don't worry, if I've got a guest on, come on in, and I'll make sure that I get to you right after I'm done with the current guest. If this sounds at all like content that you would dig, go back and look at our library, and by all means, hit that subscribe button now, and make sure you don't miss another episode. All right, tonight's a pretty special night. Hello, Tim Johnson, Heritage Farm, Texas. How are you folks tonight? Glad you're here. I'm going to get right into this because I know Drone Kings isn't here, but Drone Kings of Darwin has suggested several times that I go over my equipment again. Well, we're going to do that. And what better way than to use a remote camera, which is a little on the herky-jerky side, and the mic isn't really picking up very well. So I'm going to speak in this mic and kind of take you on the tour, so to speak. So you guys hang with me here just a minute, and Drone Kings, you'll just have to re-download, my friend, or look at it when it was done. Thank you, Tim. And thank you, Heritage Farms. I am doing great this evening, Tim. How are you guys doing? All right, shall we do this? Like I said, it's a little herky-jerky, so my lips are not going to match. I'll try to swing my mic as much as possible. But let's just go to that. Let's go to the action cam now, shall we? All right. I should kill the audio, but I'm not going to. Yeah, well. All right. So here we are. And of course, you guys know how it works over on that side of the building. All right. That is the back wall of this, what is actually it's our fourth bedroom, but it's more of a in-laws quarters, because it's the only one downstairs. And of course, I've been using it as an office and a man cave like forever. So if we swing up and over and take a look at the control center, you can see that I've got 4 monitors working. Got the laptop monitor. I've got my 2 vertical monitors and a small monitor up here in the teleprompter. That's a Glide Gear teleprompter. And the reason I have that is because I can actually see what's on program, which is the video out. And that really helps me, because then I get to look directly into my guests' eyes as I talk to them, right? Let's look at the back of the room here for a minute, and I'll show you just some of the things that I talked about earlier. Quick zoom in shows you the Tinker's Dam. The winning isn't everything, but losing is nothing. Good luck, Jim. The Harper's Ferry, 1875. My vast collection of tactical patches. The painting, Work With Me People, Fox 59, the collection of keychain guns, the Constitution, JB Scotch whiskey, Whisper paddle, the clock with no hands, the one I described that I bought when I was in 7th grade for $5. I had to replace the clock, and I have yet to have the hands come in yet. The cocktail set, There it is. See that stand-up chair? That's for old guys. That's because old guys can't stand up for an entire gig. Then on the bottom, I've got 4 Color Splash Junior, or 5 actually, 5.5. The one on the very end here is these things are 10, 15 years old. I've been using them forever, and that is actually what lights up that wall. So there you have that. Now over here, oops. This is very difficult to do. I want you to know. Whoop, what the hell? Come on. This is just a handy cam, and of course, menus will show up occasionally. Behind me, you can see that PTZ Optics camera. That's camera 2, actually. Camera 1 is behind the teleprompter there. Shines right through the beam splitter glass. And over here, let me get it over there because this is so easy. All right, over here we've got the Behringer XR18 and a Surface Gen 1 running the thing. And of course, there's the evil Alexa Dot. Shut up, Alexa. Very good. And over here, which I've talked about before, there's actually two electronic kits over there. If you notice, it's the big Yamaha before they went to the white soft pads. These are still the hard rubber ones, but you can actually adjust the tone on them. And then over here was the first one, which is a DT Express 3. And the only thing I have left is the head unit because it fell off my truck one time and slid down the road. and I recovered and it still works. So I sold the pads, but I kept it. So there you have it. That is an equipment tour. Not very well done, but I do have something for well, as soon as I save it off as a JPEG, I've got something for, oh, hey, let me say hi to you folks first. Yes, that's what you get when you start flying or throwing a camera around in your space. We've got Flasher Pen. Hey, Ed, how you doing? Just reviews for you. Welcome, sir. Welcome, sir. Bob Dip's back. How you doing, Bob? Muscle Car Appraisal. Hello, I just responded to your email, my friend. And we've got RC Studios. Thank you very much. I like it. It's very comfortable. Let's see. Movie. We've got Turtle Creativity. How you doing, huh? And we have Dangerous Criminals. Outdoorsy Gal. Oh, don't be sorry you're late. You are not late for anything. We have Shanoa. Welcome, guys. Welcome. I am doing fantastic. I am doing fantastic. Look, I may go through it again. I'll just wing this hideous handy cam around and kind of go through it. But the interesting part was what Drone Kings of Darwin was actually looking for. He was looking for, and let me save this off and throw it up real fast. It's not a complete picture because there are so many nuances in the setup of this sort of thing. All right, so there we go. Save that. I will go to that and toss it up here for you folks to see. Now, what you're going to be looking at here very, very soon is a rudimentary wiring diagram. All right. And there it is. That is basically the equipment that I'm using for every one of my live streams. Much of it, with the exception of the CAD I don't use. The cable modem, of course, I don't use on live streams that I set up remotely. As you can see, I'm using an Acer Predator Helios 300. It's an i7 with 32 gig of RAM and a GTX 1060. Let's see. The 5-port hub is actually being fed by the cable modem, back and forth, of course. But that also my cameras are IP addressed as well. So those PTZ Optics cameras, both they run the power over Ethernet, which means that all I have to do is run one wire to each one of them, and you get power and of course the audio and video, because they do have microphones in them, albeit I don't use those microphones. And that also runs through the my local area network into the PC, so that I can use them as sources in vMix, and I should have put vMix on there. And then, of course, for my audio source, I've got my CAD 179 running into the Behringer XR18, which is a digital mixer. And you see that Microsoft Surface Gen 1. This is about the only thing this is good for. I run the software, the mixer interface on this Surface Gen, and it also communicates via Wi-Fi with the Behringer. Now I also have a USB cable running from the Behringer to my main switching PC, which is the Acer Predator, from the mixer, and that allows me to actually have digital audio from my mics or whatever source into the PC. Now, the small adapter you see on the right of the laptop, that is actually a speaker and microphone in-out that also runs to the Behringer, and that's for my guests. So I route my Zoom feed through the USB audio speakers, and that goes into the XR so that you guys can hear everything that my guests say. And then I've got another, out of Send 3, I've got a clean audio without theirs, which is called a mix minus. And that goes back into that USB converter, and that's how they can hear everything I'm doing, but not actually hear themselves, which would really screw you up in the head. So, all right, any questions? How was that? How was that for a descriptor, a top level descriptor of my setup? The camera controller, Tim asks, the camera controller for the zoom, tilt, and pan is actually in vMix. I've showed this before. Let me show it to you again. Let's see. Okay, cam 1. Yeah, this is one of the inputs, input control screens. And I'll have to go to the desktop capture. All right. This is overlaid on Photoshop. Normally it's right on top of vMix, but this is the camera, or this is the input control. So when you go down to PTZ, you can see it's hooked up to my my network, and I'm able to change it right from here. See? So if I go back to my shot, which is even better, it automatically goes back to one of those presets that I've set before. How does the fur baby fit into this setup? Well, I didn't show you behind the desk. Scott Fitcher's here. How you doing, Scott? I'm glad you made it, man. I'm glad you made it. Flying with Stands here. Welcome, guys. Welcome. No, that's not an iPad. That is a well, I mean, it is a pad because it's got a magnetic connected keyboard that you don't have to use. It works just like a pad. It's an old Microsoft Surface Generation 1 that I've had around for years, and it's like my app. It's like my my iPad Gen 1. You know, the only thing good that thing's good for now, it's a digital clock up in our theater. Why, there is an octopus behind the desk. Actually, oh yeah, do you want to see the octopus? Oh, that's scary. I mean, let me see if I can show it to you. Oh, you may lose Mike here. All right. Okay, there it is. Yeah, here we go. There's the octopus. Oops. Did it again. I had the audio set. There's the rat's nest. There's one of my audio amps. There's my feet. See, I wasn't lying. There is absolutely an octopus under the desk. But hey, what studio isn't complete without a mess of wires? Am I right? And of course, that's the only place the wires are. I try to keep a pretty clean ship here. because I other than what you've seen here, which is necessary clutter, I hate clutter. Absolutely hate clutter. So any other questions about that? What if you do not have vMix? That's an interesting question. There's several ways you can do it. You can actually go to it from a web browser if you know the IP address of that camera, and they come all stock. Of course, I change mine so that if I'm on a local area network that has traffic, no one can discover the camera. But you can literally type in the IP address, and then you've got a username password, which is initially as admin, but you can change that as well. This is on the PTZ cameras. This is not all PTZ cameras. This is PTZ optics cameras. And then, of course, you have the same controls you do in vMix. Or you can buy a desktop joystick controller, which are really nice. Not even necessary for this sort of video podcast. I mean, my cameras rarely move. Camera 2 over here is merely a oh, you know what? I forgot to update my weight. Camera 2 is merely there for desk shots. One time I did, a couple of videos. One was the video game video where I went over my 2600 videos. The other one was the the Ring unboxing. Now, mind you, this is before all you wonderful people showed up. Crap, my dad makes me watch. You're not late. We're only 16 minutes into this. Well, you know what I didn't do? I didn't show you the closet because that closet is something else. I think it's day 23. I am down to 200 pounds, and that makes 12. So there. Now we're up to date. Now we are up to date. The desktop controllers can run, I believe, anywhere from about $80 to $600 because there are different capabilities, right? Some have a lot of presets. Thank you, Outdoorsy Gal. Chrissy, appreciate that, hon. I'm just glad it's going down. And it's been such a slow roll. Man, it's killing me. But at least it's going down. I may use this for beauty shots tonight. If you don't have a collapsing tripod, you're doing it wrong. They are so convenient. Although not very user-friendly when you're on a show. See the handy cam? Yeah, it's just a handy cam. I actually bought this as my wide shot for client shoots. It shoots full HD, and it's and it'll run longer than any SLR, which, as you know, is key. There we go. We get a hideous side shot of what's going on here. See that, or use the Manfrotto. I have far too much camera equipment, but it is a hobby. Yet another one of my hobbies. Hey, who else did I miss? I saw some folks up top here. Crap, my dad makes me watch. How you doing, buddy? Dangerous Criminals. I hope I don't know if I said hello to you, but hello. And who did I just see walk in? Manic Magic. How you doing, Manic? Good seeing you again, bud. So there you have it. Pay here. You better than that. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Pay no attention. Gosh, dang it. Stupid microphone. Pay no attention to that man behind the microphone. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I don't think it's complicated myself, but what do you guys think? You think it works? I certainly hope so. I'll just hang out and keep talking while you guys are deciding who's going to come on. Like that's happening. Oh, by the way, the Sony behind me is also connect. I must remember not to have that microphone on again. But you see the image in the teleprompter up front? That is how I get to see everything that's going on. but that Sony is connected via an HDMI capture box, Megwell capture box. Normally they work well. I don't know why it's stutter stepping right now. It must be some of the settings on the Sony. Who knows? I hardly use it anymore. Sometimes since it's got that shotgun mic on there. Thank you, Manic Magic. Appreciate that, dude. If I remember correctly, your name is Trevor, right? Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else. I'm horrible with names. I am absolutely horrible with names. So I apologize if I blew that. Yeah. So, who was trying to reach a target or gills? Was that Crap My Dad Makes Me Watch? How'd you do, man? Oh, okay, good. It's Trevor. Good. Maybe I'm not as bad with names as I thought I was. So here, the challenge to this setup. Yeah, it is a pretty complicated set for an average Joe. Because you don't need all this stuff. I mean, you really don't. You don't need the dual monitors with a teleprompter and a camera shining through it, and you do need a good PC if you're going to or I should say, a good computer. If you're going to live stream, you're going to need something with some horsepower, no question about it. And the only reason I'm working off a laptop is because I was mobile, right? I would take these to large events. I'd be running 3 of these PTZ cameras and then a wide shot. And I had to have something that would fit into a briefcase and fly with me. The Behringer went with me, but it was in a flight case. You know, one of the amp cases that you see on stage, which has all the electronics in it. I've got dozens more electronic pieces in that one out there. I got some a wireless mic console with 4 wireless mics on it. I've got a digital speaker processor, which is the DTX 560, I believe. Boy, it's been so long. A couple of amps. You saw the amp underneath the table there. I'm trying to sell that one. And of course the Behringer sits in there as well when I'm doing live shots or out with the band. And that's really what I started out with was band equipment, because you got to go out and run your PA system. And of course, I ended up running the PA system and the lights, as you see behind me. Those were stage lights at one time. I haven't. Right now I have 2. I used to have 3, but right now I've got the two of the 12Xs. I had a 20X, and I just didn't use the zoom power of that one. So, and really I didn't need it because all I needed was a center shot. So now I've just got the 2, and now I'm using them for this, which seems extraordinary given the cost of those things. But hopefully, if my back ever gets better, I'll start doing some more remote stuff for clients. I just can't lift that heavy ass flight case because it's giant, you know. Especially if they're asking for PA along with it. Forget about it. That's likely to kill me. Oh, it was you trying to hit your target. Did you hit? Oh, you're 0.3 away or you're 3 away. That's awesome, Dangerous Criminals. So, wonderful. What was the target? I didn't see it. How much was you trying to get to? Crap My Dad Makes Me Watch. Yeah, I didn't get to see that, but so busy. It's awful. And having a hobby, you got to be kidding me. It is kind of like a television studio, but you know, Bob Dip, I used to work at a television studio, and I'm very used to, well, as an engineer, so I'm used to putting things like this together. Arthur Moorhead, don't worry about it. Hey, Jack, how you doing? Yeah, don't worry about it, Arthur. You're not that late. We're still waiting for somebody to call in. I'm just yammering on about my equipment and how it was put together. And does anyone want to see that diagram again? Just let me know. I'll throw it up there. Had horsepower until the mouse died. Hey, Jim, or is this Bob? Let me know if it's Jim or Bob. Jack wants to know. Just wanted to ask you guys a weird question. When was the last time you tasted your own blood? 2 days ago. Is that weird? Yeah, 2 days ago. Yeah, well, Wisco Style is going to come down and be my co-host. He's just gonna commute from Wisconsin to Indianapolis. That's okay, Chrissy. That's okay. And well, no, Florida record would only be if we had breaks and more cameras we were working with. But thanks, Bob. I appreciate that. If you were offering. Oh, Jim. Okay, Jim, did you catch my my remark at the end of the night last night about I was wondering where are all of those GM and Chrysler 60-year-old tractors that can do what mine did the last 3 days. My Ford tractor. We're working the shit out of that thing, I'm telling you. In fact, my boy today, he graded out another 20 or more tons. See if I can get this, I'll get this over there. And you'll see it. That thing's a workhorse. That thing is absolutely a workhorse. I love that tractor. We were actually using the front loader to pull the gravel. You know, the stuff that the skid steer didn't, because, oh, come on. Where's my save to? Okay. Ah, there we go. Yeah, and it's the only thing that's got the grader box on it. So, yes, Ford tractors, man. They are, I have such an affinity for Ford tractors. I love their style. Except for like the 70s. Then they got boxy like everything else did. Well, it's a 12 by, if that helps. I know that I've been about 100 feet off of a stage, and I'm able to get a good bust shot. Like you see right here, I'm able to get a pretty good bust shot for, like, zooming in on guests or commentators or judges, that sort of thing. I wonder why that is. Most of them have a higher CFM than a lot of the others. Ours is kind of slow too, but it's also 60 years old. And I'm trying to show you it in service. I ran it for 9 solid hours yesterday. Man, that's a lot of tractor time. I'm here to tell you, a lot of tractor time. And it ain't all bouncy seed either, man. It's muscle that. Now it's got power steering, but again, it's 60 years old, and I had to rebuild it, and they don't make the seals for it anymore. So I spent a good full week looking for seals that I could jerry rig in to work, and they work, but it just never was a very good power steering unit. PT12. I know, and I've seen those, Jim. I've seen the Mecum. I've seen the Mecum tractor auctions. In fact, they had two days of it, maybe 2 weeks ago. Oh, that was awesome. And they sold a couple of my style tractor, but they were the gold demonstrator tractors. I'm still shocked. Some tractors, actually, some of the other Ford tractors beat the demonstration tractors. And those demonstration tractors are by far the more rare tractor. Ford used to paint them gold, leave them in, or send them out to their dealers, and then people would be able to try them out before they bought them. It's a great idea, and they were good looking tractors. PTC. Oh, absolutely. In fact, I've installed those, Tim, in several churches in the area with full videotaping and live streaming. We say jerry rig. With full live stream capability as well. In fact, the last one I did was maybe 3 months ago. Church on the north side, probably closer to you, certainly closer to you than it is me. And then we had no, they are not overkill. They are absolutely not overkill. No. These cameras are not overkill for a permanent installation for recording and live stream. Imagine, because you can set presets, you have virtually a whole slew of cameras that you can utilize. So you can be on a wide shot and have camera 2 go tight on the altar, take the altar. Let's say you only run into 2 cameras. Yeah, like tractors with tires taller than I am. Well, these 16.9s are pretty tall. They're neck tall on this one. But yeah, then of course, you want to go to the rail, or I don't know. I'm not a church guy, but let's say you want to go to the audience, then you go back on the wide shot and just hit that preset. That camera will zoom over to that last position, and then you can take it as soon as it's done. So it's like having every one of those cameras is a cameraman, which is great because you can sit and do everything from one location. And that's why I chose them, especially for live, because that's just me. Yeah, they work with Streamlabs OBS. I don't know if you can control them with Streamlabs OBS. That I don't know. You'd have to do some research on that. Oh, hey, Tony's here. The party can start now. But yeah, they're fantastic. The churches that we install them for just absolutely love them. Just absolutely love them. You train one guy on how to control them, either vMix or one of the desktop joystick controllers, and you've got a very powerful production house going right there inside, and it's all self-contained. That's the beautiful part about it. You combine it with like vMix, and you're golden. It's weird looking at this other camera shot, back of my back. Or would that be the front of my back? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, Bob. You're so correct. Always well, it's like overbuilding, right? If you know you want something to last, overbuild the damn thing. If you overbuild it, you're much less likely to be disappointed, like you will, well, from the old Harbor Freight, I'll say, because they have made leaps and bounds in their quality. But it used to be, we used to call Harbor Freight the tool rental joint, because you go buy something there and you're only going to be able to use it for a bit, and then boom. Oh, you're going to do a church install? Oh, sweet. If you want to talk about that, Tim, you know how to get a hold of me. I'm not trying to muscle in or anything, but if you haven't done one of those and you need some consulting, I'd be more than happy to do it if it means future business. So yeah, what else can I say about that? Oh, I know what I was going to do. That happens so often. You lose your train of thought. You forget where you were going with something. That is so me. So I was going to show you the tractor in action today as soon as it shows up in the nice little directory I've set up for them. Yeah, we've done so much with that tractor. So much. And you know what I didn't show you the other night? See, you guys asked for this. You're not calling in, so I'm just going to keep going. You remember the trailer that I'm certain that I'm going to regret selling? Here's what a workhorse that trailer is. Look at that pile of hay bales. Can you believe that? And these are not bone dry hay bales. These are wet. This was for my son's wedding about 4 or 5 years ago. Can you believe that? Jimmy Rig. Yeah, who was that Jim guy? Well, same way with Jerry. Jerry Rig. That Jerry, he's a pretty enterprising guy. If you can figure that out. So, all right, where were we? Time to refresh. Still not there. I hate how this works. Sometimes my phone just does not send what I tell it to send to Dropbox. Damn you, Dropbox. What was that? I'll just keep looking for it. No, it's not out there. Gosh dang it. Why is that? So you're working off two Logitechs, the 930E, and yes, which I know is 1080p, and two Zoom webcams for your art channel. Cool. Well, your camera looked really good the other day. I will send you an email. Cool. Does Flash in your pan have a setup like mine? No, not exactly. No, he. I think Ed. Well, Ed, you can tell him better than I can. I think he went with a desktop, and he got a beefy one. But I think he's also running OBS on it instead of Zoom. Although we're going to talk about Zoom, or I'm sorry, vMix. We are going to talk about vMix. TCT television or Star Angel satellite TV. I've heard both of those, but I don't know much about them, to be honest with you. Be right back. If I don't make it back in time, feel free. You bet. Thank you, Tim. Please hit that like button. Tweet this out. We've got about a half an hour. Well, 20 minutes. You guys better get on it. I'm shocked. Oh, let's see. I keep trying hard, but I keep failing. No point of persisting. I'm just going to give up. What is that, Jack? What are you talking about? What are you failing at? Oh, you have credits on both systems? Cool. Very cool. You got to remember that I got out of broadcast television right before Y2K. And then I just then I did nothing but web design development, moved into web marketing, then into digital marketing, and really never left. Now, the nice part about that is it's really broad. So if someone needs a consultant for all of those things, then I'm your guy. Yeah, Jack, what is going on with you, bud? I don't want you to give up on anything. That's why don't you call in, bud? Let's talk about that. I'd really like to talk to you about that. So what else to say about that? Oh, damn you, Dropbox. You know, you pay for the space and you get nothing. So let's see. All right. We're just going to send it to myself. Okay. We'll see what happens. Oh. Stan said, but Jack says, I'm just a bit depressed. My eczema is literally killing me. Oh, sorry to hear that, dude. Sorry, man. Yes, Drone Kings in Darwin is missing. And yes, the cameras have advanced a lot. We haven't seen Wisco Style tonight. I don't know where he's at. I'm surprised. I'm literally shocked that Drone Kings in Darwin didn't show up, because he was the one that suggested. He really wanted to see an outline of my setup. You guys want to see that again? Let me know. But from your back shot, it looks like you're actually just a foot or so from the wall in front of you. No. It's more like 3 or 4 feet. I have to have that much room for the camera and the teleprompter. It is kind of deceiving. I've painted the walls gray so that it doesn't add too much to it. You know, it said, "Don't mistake my kindness for weakness." You see that? When I dip my head, it goes away. You want to see it again? Okay. All right. Here's the equipment layout. Very high level, but it does give you just about everything you need to know about how I've got things set up outside of the tricky part of setting up everything. Like you've got to set the IPs up so your networks, everyone can talk on your network. The USB cable into the Behringer, that's another setup, because that's an AISO driver that has to happen. The adapter, the USB adapter there that goes back and forth between the Behringer, that's the zoom audio to the Behringer, so that it comes back in over the USB, and then the other one is the mix minus back out to zoom. The microphone's real easy to understand. The Surface is actually what controls the Behringer. There is no slider interface. I literally have a touchscreen Surface over here that I use as my mixer. 5-port hubs are 5-port hubs, and of course the PTZ optics cameras, and what you get for your money here is those are the lights behind me. I'm sorry, Outdoorsy Gal. And the PTZ optics cameras are actually power over Ethernet, which means that with this hub, but with my power over Ethernet hub in my flight case, I can actually just run one Cat5 out to that camera, and it'll do the power and then the audio, video, and the control all in that single cable, which is perfect. Absolutely perfect. And of course, cable modem. And if you noticed, I have an Ethernet cable from my cable modem into that 5-port hub so that everyone's on hardwire. No, it's Sierra Blue because of the lights. Let me show you here in just a minute. I'm gonna give you a hideous ground shot. Oh boy. Let me do something real quick. I want to make sure that the audio does not come on. Yeah, there we go. Okay, now let's see if it happens. I can't believe how lit it is over there. Okay, here's the ground level look. I know it looks hideous because it's a mess of wires too, but you got to remember that they also run, those lights will also run via DMX, and I've got my DMX box. See if I can show you that. This is a hideous way to run. Okay. You see that box right in the corner there? That is a DMX controller, DMX analog controller that I can plug into USB port, and then I can turn those colors any color of, well, reportedly 16 million colors, but it's more like the 256 variations. Oh, that poor cam has never had that much use in this room. Hello, Outdoors with Eric. That's quite the swimsuit you've got going on there. Or are you just showing me the melons? What do I use for recording? Well, vMix, of course, but I also use Traction, and of course I can also record on DaVinci Pro. But DaVinci Resolve as far as DAW, are you asking? Boobs. Uh-oh, is that going to be a strike? Oh, man. Well, we got to get up and do that again tomorrow at my boy's place, and I'll be damned if I can ever get this stupid ass thing to come up. Let's see. Gotta do that. There's always a path. Always a path. Chill, man. Frustrated. What are you frustrated about, Tony? Okay, did it send it? It did send it. All right. Let's see. Let's see what happens here. Oh, Jesus. Everything's a chore. Yeah, here's what the boy did today. He spread out about 20 ton of 53s over the front of his shop. And we've got about another 20 or so ton to do behind the shop, but that's going to be crushed concrete because that's only where the trailer is going to sit. There's not going to be a lot of traffic, but in front of the shop, you definitely want some good stuff. Oh, computer issues, man! You and Pusa had computer issues not too long ago. Ed just got over his not too long ago. Editing issues, webcam. Oh, good Lord, man, it's all falling apart. What do you mean collusion, Tim Yawns? What do you mean, man? Oh, yeah, Russia. Oh, geez. Yeah, it's always something. It is always something. So far, it's been going pretty smooth here, but oh, when I first started out, it was awful. And of course, every time I got to pull this thing up, because sometimes I don't do remote large shows, but I do some remote recording. And when I've got to pull out my recording PC and you know, some of the other ancillary items, the cameras, of course, um, it's it's a bear to set back up because you got to remember where everything goes, and then you've always got settings changes, because when I take a camera out, I'm no longer running it on my LAN, so now I've got to change the IP address of this PC. Where do you suggest someone go if they need to buy a new setup to go live? No one place, Jim. You've probably got to. It's like oh, what's a good analogy? Well, you know, you can get everything. I'm not even going to use it. Um, yeah, it's no one place. What you do is you pick your well, Amazon perhaps, but you pick your items and you go out and find them, whether you're looking for the best price or quickest shipping or what have you. That's the way I would suggest you do it. And nowadays, going live is so easy. Like Manic Magic, you can actually have a wonderful live stream with that 930E camera. I mean, they're really decent little cameras, and they're only like $70. Plug that right into your PC or laptop via USB. You can get by with the blue. I don't know if you saw the. See if I can get a picture of the blue. Yeah, you can get. Let me zoom in. Yeah, you can get a really nice you can get really nice audio quality out of the blue snowballs. Don't pay attention to the D6 over there next to it. That is all kick drum all the time. If you guys do any miking at all and you're looking for a kick-ass bass drum mic, that Audix D6 is one of the best. I love that thing. That looks like my first thumbnail. All right, there we go. Me at work every night. Yep, there you go. At work. Did you see the delay with it changing? And kabam. Oh, what I missed. Let's see. Yeah, those blue snowballs are really nice mics for the price. You can get them for about $50 new. And so now where are we at? 50 and 70, we're talking about $120. That assumes that you've got a halfway decent PC. You don't need a solid big giant workhorse if you're not running, you know, 4 monitors. If you're okay just using the laptop itself, maybe the Intel 630 chipset would work. I know the 530 struggles, but no, I sure don't, Ed. Yeah, the Tacstar. You're talking about the shotgun mic crap my dad makes me watch. If you looked carefully, it's right behind us. You are talking about that guy right there. That is a decent mic. That is a decent mic for just, well, right now it's loose for some reason, but a very decent mic for the price. Boom. Oh, still on too. Yeah, that's the one thing about those Tackstars. They do not have auto off, so make sure you always check and make sure you haven't left the switch on. Yeah, and I was going to get a Rode shotgun mic. The reason I didn't, yes, less than $30, absolutely. The reason I did not get a Rode shotgun mic is because I didn't need it, right? What I do is I run this microphone on the Sony, as a backup. And of course, I record everything I do as the live shot on the Sony. All right, we're just going to leave her right there. And that shotgun mics help me at least get the ambient the ambient audio that I'm looking for. And then what I do is I also have an Audix, I think it's an F10, which is another condenser mic that I will put on a very large mic stand, point it down at the crowd so I can get crowd reaction as well, crowd noise. And I also pick up a bit of the thing. This is all in case this thing dies. You know, my production PC decides, well, I know it's not going to go into a Windows update, but something similar. If I just have a major crash, then I've got that as backup, and I can, you know, mix and adjust the audio to closely match, stay on the wide shot until I can go back to when the recording starts again. It's a fail-safe thing. When somebody's paying you to capture an event, you want to make sure you capture that event. A Rode would have been better, but I think it's more focused. I wanted something with a little bit wider collection. So that was my equipment. That was my equipment tour, guys. No one's calling in, so I think I'm gonna. Oh, in comparison to a Blue Yeti, actually the Yeti's better, of course. I mean, you get what you pay for in these things. You really do. And the Yeti is a pretty good mic as well. Sounds like a mic, not a. What do you say? Oh, what, the Rode shotgun? Oh, yeah. Surely that's a country song somewhere. So yeah, we're coming up on the hour. I'm so tired. I haven't been sleeping for shit either. That'll happen when you're working, because a lot of my work is right in front of the PC. So I get why it's hard to lose weight, but when I'm working out at his place, it's all on, man. It is all on. Oh, hey, Northern Ohio Railroad action. How you doing? Welcome. Sounds like a song, not a mic. Yep. Oh, wish what? Wish my mic would work for my acoustic amp. I tell you, these mics right here, now they're about $200, but these mics right here are fantastic cabinet mics. They are fantastic cabinet mics. The other ones I use, I happen to be an Audix fan for the most part. But you can even get a Beta 58 to sound pretty good on a cabinet, but Sennheiser's got a good drop over. Oh, what's the other one? Sennheiser is what I actually use for vocal mics. I don't know if you saw it back there on the cocktail kit, but that's actually a Sennheiser that I use. But I've got about 6 of them that I have, 4 of them at a time in the rehearsal space. And the other 2 are just spare and here. And of course, I don't really hook up to an amp here. I used to, but I just don't do that much anymore. What other good drop mics? I've got a couple from a Fusion kit that I have that work great. Oh, I wish I could remember what the hell they are, but they're Audix mics. I think they're maybe the D12 F12s, not the F10s. Yeah, but I love those things. They're very flat mics, and I love a flat mic. I don't like a mic with boost, and I don't like I don't like headphones with a boost either. That's why I use the 40s, the Audio-Technica 40s. The 50s are artificially boosted, and that's why all people tend to think they sound better. Well, that's not what you're hearing. You're hearing a manufactured sound on top of the recorded sound. I don't like that. I would much rather hear clean sound and then adjust it to my taste, at its source. I was going to say another thing about those. Oh, the Shure, the beer microphone. What is the 57? The Shure 57. Those things are just too harsh in my opinion. Way too much tinniness at the highs. But you know, they're bulletproof. You can dunk those things in a pitcher of beer and finish your set. They're amazing. But I shopped long and hard for those Sennheisers. They're the 935s, and I love the way they sound because they're so flat. And I'm really surprised at this thing, this CAD. This is not a vocal mic necessarily, but I like the way it sounds. I absolutely do, especially with my voice, which can be a little low and booming. Not all the time, of course, but it does on microphone. The Sennheisers I've got because it allows me not to have to rely on that boom. I pull back on it as much as I possibly can. Any other questions about microphones? I should have a Q&A show one night a week. Maybe Mondays will be a Q&A show, and I'll still invite people on. Don't get me wrong. So if we have Q&A on Monday, we have, you know, whatever subject I decide on Tuesday. We have the channel reviews and shout outs on Wednesday, whatever subject I decide on Thursday, and then our free-for-all panel show, which is going to happen tomorrow night. It's going to be an experimental thing. I've already run an experiment, but there are settings that I may have made that I have to redo. So bear with me on the first one. But yeah, that's going to be tomorrow night. That means you guys, if you want to come on, you can either email me or tweet me a private message. I'll have my Twitter open, and I'll send you the link to that. And then you can come on, and we can just all have a big group discussion, big group hug. You guys have done this before. You know several live streamers that do this. I just thought it would be cool because it fits my genre pretty well outside of having one-on-one conversations. I just think it would be a nice change up. What do you guys think? Do you think that's a great idea? I'm going to take your silence as a yes. I'm just kidding you. So before I go, are there any other questions about my setup that you might have? Because I am absolutely willing to let you know anything there is to know about what I've done here. Oh, by the way, Alexa, stop. She's also hooked into the Behringer XR18, and right now is on the aux channel, which is technically 17. So I can bring her into the conversation anytime I want to, as you've heard before. Alexa, what is the sun?
The sun is the star at the center of the solar system.
Yeah. Thanks, Alexa. So, oh shit, why is it not scrolling? It's not a muzzleloader. Well, I mean, it is technically a muzzleloader. It's a flintlock, and I don't know if it works. Tony's Reviews, welcome, dude, welcome. Beer night was fun. That's okay. You don't have to outdoorsy gal. We're gonna try it. We're gonna try it on Friday nights. I'm thinking Monday nights might be better for the panel discussion, but we'll see. 10:57. Yeah, I know. Yes, my earplugs. No, they are not ear molds. They're actually Shure's. If you can see that, they're just Shure headphones, in-ear headphones. And I don't remember. I looked it up earlier for someone else. Is there any part of my? Oh, let me look that up for you real quick here. Let's see. Ask her if AI will rule the world one day. It will. We're destined to be ruled by AI. All right, so we're gonna go. Sure. Oh, in ear. There we go. Let's see. Is Muscar Appraisal asks, is there any part of your setup that you don't use much? You know, I don't have to use the Behringer, and I'm only using one mic and one input for a mic. The other one is the DOT, and then the other one is the PC. So I'm woefully underusing that. But I tell you, when I'm doing the band, most channels are full. But my little mixer, I couldn't get a good mix minus on it, so I brought this one in. Uh, of the rest of the setup, I would say there are a lot of tripods I don't use. I just have far too many tripods. Okay, let's see. I think these are no, well, they might be. It's hard to tell because the the um the top of the wire is moldable. That's how you're able to get it around your ear. Let's see if this long ass link will port. There you go. Check those out. I think that's what they are, the SE 215s. And they're wonderful because they do hook right behind your they're clear, well, virtually clear, and they're just unobtrusive. So I don't even feel them while I'm on. Wow, everybody's coming in late. Uh, Mr. Lodak, how you doing, man? How you doing? Crystal, hey, Crystal. If you're wondering about that link, that's the earbuds I think I'm using. I've had these things for about 8 years, so I can't even remember. Oh, let's see what other equipment. Do I have any for sale? Somebody asked if I had any of my other stuff for sale. Would I ever play the drums for you live? I don't know. I don't know. You got to remember, I'm a self-taught hack. I can play songs that I've learned just fine, but I am not that good at solos. Who asked that? Go help him. Oh, all right. Night, Tony. If I didn't already miss you, I'm sorry. Yes, Shure SM7Bs are great mics, but know that their levels are very low. You've got to have a really good preamp and amp to get those mics to work well. The RE20s are a great alternative. Both of those guys are industry standards, and that's Electro Voice RE20s. They don't take near as much preamp as the Shures do, and they have that classic look too. Oh, I can play Wipeout, Bob. There you go. What I should do is play the electric ones, because then I could pipe that right into the XR18 mixer, and no one would know anything. Oh, I see. Let's see. Who asked if I had anything to sell? Oh, Rent a Groan's here. How you doing? Who asked if I had anything to sell, or did they ask that? I've got two of the QSC or G3s for sale. They're audio amplifiers. Nice lightweight workhorses. They retail for about $300. I'd be willing to give them up for both as a pair, or let's see. Let's individually. I'd be willing to give them up for about $125 a piece. That does not include shipping. Yeah, well, that's I'd say that's true of the RE20 as well, Tim. That RE20 does eliminate a lot of background noise. Thanks to you, Jim. I've got Nightbot on my lives now. Oh, wow. A friend of mine had Wipeout played at his funeral. That's actually pretty cool. That is actually pretty cool. Has Nightbot been in here? No. Say that ain't so. I haven't seen it pop up. I haven't seen it rear its ugly head. My ex used to be a drummer, says Rent a Groan. Somehow that resulted in us soundproofing the spare room for him to have a punk band with his friends in it. That's what happens. That is what happens with musicians. Before I snagged the VFW basement to practice in, and this is a basement with a full bar and a ballroom and everything. They just don't use it. They have another one upstairs for the most part. Before I snagged that, my rhythm guitarist and I, my childhood friend, we turned his 3-car garage into a studio, but it was a 3-car garage and it wasn't heated. So after a while, that propane burner would just get to you real fast. Now, what kind of goal, Bob, do you have before you start doing videos for YouTube? That would be interesting. Nightbot, you're like a Nightbot to me. You're like my only friend. No, it's 11:05, guys. It's 11:05. We haven't gotten any calls in so far. I'm gonna call it a night. I am absolutely gonna call it a night. The boy asked me this evening just before the show if I'd come out and help him spread that other 20. I couldn't do it today. And Tony, what kind of music is my favorite to play? Oh man, there is no favorite. I literally have no favorite. 100 subs just to start off before you even do a video. Interesting tactic, but go. Oh, thank you, Crystal. Thanks for being here, hon. I really appreciate it. But back to my favorite music. I'm gonna do a whole show on this because I think Chrissy's husband, John, wants to get in on the conversation. But I don't know that I don't, or I have. Well, overly repetitive music sucks. You can almost go back to some of the drum machines of the 80s, but beyond that, I can find joy in just about any song, to be honest with you. All right, guys. That's going to be it for me. Creeping in on 17K. That's fantastic, Crystal. Keep going, hon. Keep going. You're killing it. You are killing it. All right, guys. But that's going to do it for me. I do appreciate you hanging out for this tour du jour. I know it's not much, but it's what I call home. And I'll continue. Now, remember, if I know some of you guys can't be here tomorrow night, but some of those of you who can, you're more than welcome to jump on the stream. I'll have instructions for all that, and of course I'll have to change some of the lower thirds for us. But yeah, I'll do all that, and then we'll be back right away at 10 p.m. tomorrow night. BYOD, and and thanks for being here, guys. If you guys are watching this after this video has been processed, why, by all means, hit that subscribe button. And to all of you, make sure that you treat others the way you want to be treated. If we all did that, wouldn't this world be a better place? All right, thanks. Good night, and we will see you live.